Good evening and welcome in to the Manchester Basketball Centre here in Whalley Range. We've got some WNBL Division 1 action for you today as the Manchester Mystics face the Worcester Wolves in their last home game, last game of the regular season today for the Mystics and the Wolves. Manchester currently sitting in 5th place with 11 wins and 8 losses. Had a loss against the London All-Stars last weekend. And for the Worcester Wolves, they had a win against Brent, 64-57 last weekend. They're also 11 wins and 8 losses in 6th place, just behind Manchester. And the Wolves have been on a 4-game winning streak recently. Had some injury trouble during the season, but they're getting some players back and they're getting themselves into a really good position to finish the season strong. Kaz Bullock here with you on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel as we get ready to tip off. So teams coming out onto court, and it's Worcester playing in blue and Manchester in red. Starting fives for both teams, it will be Marley Ball, Carol Marquez, Tiona McKay, Eri Bukoye and Siani Montgomery for the Wolves. And for Manchester, Ravimbo Chinamasa, Chloe Andrew, Success Odemwingie, Georgia Perdomo and Remi Idowu. So both teams having had some injury trouble recently with players being unavailable. And Manchester adding some players back in that they've been missing today for this last game of the regular season. So ball's up and we're underway, and first possession will go to Manchester. Chinamasa will set things up for the Mystics. Over to Andrew. Andrew has space. Three's up and down, and you cannot leave Chloe Andrew that open. She's going to make you pay. A lights-out shooter from behind the three-point line is Andrew. As the Mystics take a 3-0 lead early on, and the ball will go out of bounds and go back Manchester's way. So it'll be sideline possession for Manchester as Andrew will inbound. The Mystics coming off a huge National Cup win in January where they beat the London Cavaliers. Haven't won a game in the league since that National Cup win, again due to those injuries and short-handed roster, as Perdomo shot spins out. And a jump ball is called. But as I mentioned earlier, teams looking to finish strong in the last game of the regular season. So Wolves possession. Montgomery. Marquez driving baseline, kicks it out to the corner, three's up, rolls off the rim, and a great box out there from Idowu as Manchester get the ball back. Perdomo over to Andrew. Ball's loose, but Chinamasa keeps it alive. Chinamasa pulls up from the foul line, too strong, and it's Wolves basketball. Marquez. Ball has it. Marley Ball joining the Wolves halfway through the season. Started the season with Bristol as the ball's knocked away. Odemwingie comes up with it. Andrew's there. The Mystics have numbers, but ball comes up with a steal. Marquez. Ball's tipped away. Chinamasa comes away with it. And Odemwingie off and running down the court. Too much on the shot though. Good defense from the Wolves. As Bukoye just standing in the way. Sorry, McKay is standing in the way. And Montgomery all the way to the basket. Gets the Wolves onto the scoreboard. And Siani Montgomery, a player to watch for this Worcester team, averaging 24.2 points a game. She's first in Division 1, leads all players in scoring as Andrew goes to the basket and adds in 2 more for Manchester. Marquez Marquez can't get it to go. Perdomo with a rebound. Andrew to Perdomo. Thought about it, passes into Idowu. Idowu working inside. Too much on the shot, and the Wolves are back down the floor. Montgomery, not that time, but rebound falls to the Wolves. Good hustle there from Worcester. As Montgomery kicks it out, ball, 6 seconds on the clock, and ball banks in two. Mystics up 1 in the first quarter. Just under 6.5 minutes to play. Odemwingie drives, not that time, and Montgomery picks up the rebound. And Siani Montgomery, not just a scorer out there on the floor for Worcester, she does a bit of everything on court. 5th in the league in assists per game. As we've got a foul on the floor, that will be the first team foul against the Mystics. So it will be end line possession for Worcester. Ball's into ball. Montgomery drives to the basket, leaves it short. But she found a path as Perdomo at the other end can't get it to fall. Marquez spinning, runs into Idowu and gets the whistle. That will be the second team foul against Manchester. Fouls on the floor, so the Wolves will take it from the end line again. And a step out of bounds will give Manchester possession. A relatively low-scoring start to the game for both teams, just 5-4 here as we approach the halfway mark. As Chinamasa controls it for Manchester. Chinamasa, finds a path to the basket, left-handed layup. And Ravimbo Chinamasa, such a quick player. She's really able to find those lanes, find those gaps in the defense. As Worcester answer with 2. And Montgomery brings it to a 1-point game. Chinamasa against Montgomery on the baseline. Ball will go out of bounds, but stays Manchester ball. And we'll have a substitution for the Wolves. Heather Maxwell into the game for the first time. And Eri Bukoye will take a seat. So 7 seconds on the shot clock for Manchester. Odemwingie into Andrew. Andrew steps back, threes up, that's short. And a foul on the rebound. So ball goes with the Wolves. That's a 3rd team foul on Manchester. So 3 quick team fouls there for Manchester in the last 2 minutes or so. Worcester yet to foul this quarter. As McKay draws another from Manchester. So Manchester on 4 fouls. The next one will put them into the bonus and will give Worcester free throws for the rest of the quarter. So that's something that Manchester are going to need to try and tighten up on in these last 4 or 5 minutes here. So Marquez into ball. Ball 3 off the back iron, and Chinamasa with a rebound. Andrew working against Marquez. Ball's knocked out of bounds, stays Manchester possession, but again, good hands there from the Wolves, and Montgomery knocking the ball out of bounds. And we'll see Alex Hernandez check in for the Mystics for the first time as Georgia Perdomo goes to the bench. Odemwingie, great pass into Hernandez, can't finish on the second try. And it's a 1-point Manchester lead here in the first quarter. Montgomery. And ball goes out of bounds. Great defense there from Remi Idowu and Chloe Andrew. You can see them just standing in the lane. Very difficult there to take that position, to hold yourself, to almost take the contact from the player coming towards you and not reach down and foul. But they did that very successfully. Manchester rewarded with the ball back. Odemwingie, Chinamasa scoops it up and in. And Ravimbo Chinamasa with 4 points, a rebound and an assist today, gives Manchester a 3-point lead. Marquez, ball's calling for it. Ball turns, can't get it to drop. And Hernandez will take it all the way, gets the foul call. So Alex Hernandez will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. And we'll see Steph Oliver out onto the floor for the Wolves. Marley Ball goes to the bench. Oliver playing in her second season for Worcester. So it's Alex Hernandez at the foul line, averaging just under 7 points a game for the Mystics this season. Doesn't get the first to fall. Hernandez had a 21-point game against Anglia Ruskin University earlier this season. She's known as a lockdown defender, but can score when she needs to. And she does just that for Manchester. It's a 2-possession game. Montgomery against Odemwingie. Maxwell to Marquez. Marquez finds a path to the basket, leaves it short, but ball's picked up by McKay. Can't get it to go. And it stays Worcester ball. Substitution for Manchester as Letitia Willis checks in and Remi Idowu heads to the bench. Oliver, round to Montgomery, catch and shoot. Shot pops out. It's a great look for Montgomery as Odemwingie for Manchester passes over to Andrew. Ball's knocked loose, picked back up by Andrew. Odemwingie thought about it, drives to the basket, kicks it to Chinamasa, who takes it inside. And Chinamasa's footwork as she goes to the basket is absolutely fantastic. As will retake the inbound. And a timeout called. So 2:45 left in the first quarter. A 12-6 lead for the Manchester Mystics over the Worcester Wolves. And they've been led so far by Chloe Andrew with 5 points. And Ravimbo Chinamasa, 6 points, a rebound and an assist. And for the Wolves, it's been Siani Montgomery, 4 points and 4 rebounds. So some other games taking place today in Division 1. The majority of teams playing their final game of the season today. There's been a big game earlier between the London Cavaliers and the Loughborough Riders. Now, the London Cavaliers winning that one 102-58, and that means that London secure the Division 1 title. They will finish in first place in the top of the league. And in that game, Janice Monacana, a massive 26-point, 12-rebound game, and Chinwe Ewunze adding in 23 points and 10 rebounds. Tilly Goddard also with a 20-point game. The London Cavaliers are the team to watch at the moment. They are on a tear this season, and especially the second half of this season. They're going to be a very difficult team to come up against in the playoffs. And also Kate Lewis reliably informing us that ARU beat Kohler by 3, so it's all to play for still in the standings. Lots of movement in the standings in Division 1. At the moment, Manchester in 5th place, Worcester in 6th. Top 4 teams will have home court advantage in the playoffs, so Manchester, a team that won't be able to finish in that top 4, but they'll certainly be looking to see who they will be facing off against when the playoffs do start. So back on court, we'll take the ball from the sideline, and it's Odemwingie to inbound for Manchester. Willis. Andrew over to Hernandez, 3's up. Doesn't drop, ball's tipped. McKay is so bouncy. Watch her when she's going for those rebounds. As a foul against the Wolves, Chloe Andrew taking the charge. How many times have we seen her do that this season? She puts her body on the line for this team. And Manchester will get the ball back. Just over 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 6-point Mystics lead. Odemwingie to Andrew. Andrew out to Hernandez. Hernandez can't get it to go. And McKay racing back down the floor. Hands off to Montgomery. Easton round to Oliver. Montgomery floats it up and in. And Montgomery now up to 6 points, has 6 of Worcester's 8 points. As ball's into Willis. Willis powering her way to the basket. And a nice finish there from Letitia Willis. Leads back up to 6 for Manchester. McKay against Hernandez, finds Maxwell. Montgomery fires, not that time. Odemwingie gets a second rebound of the game. And ball's knocked away, picked up by McKay. Montgomery calling for it, was all alone under the basket and finishes under the hoop. And she's up to 8 points here in the first quarter. Chinamasa finds Andrew. That's a great screen from Willis. And a great box out there from McKay at the other end. As Easton round to Montgomery. And we'll have a step out of bounds, so Manchester ball. And a substitution for the Mystics as Rahana Khalil and Anya Williams come into the game. Success Odemwingie and Ravimbo Chinamasa will take a seat. So Williams will inbound for Manchester. Williams playing in her first season in Division 1. Dropped 22 points for Manchester against Cardiff in the National Cup as Montgomery takes the ball away. McKay has it. Easton. Back to Montgomery. Montgomery puts it up. Doesn't drop, and Hernandez with a big rebound as Andrew racing off down the court. Can't get it to fall. And the Wolves with 9 seconds in the quarter. McKay stepping through inside, nails it. And it's a 2-point game, 1 second to go as Williams will launch from the halfway line. Shot spins out. And at the end of the first quarter, it's a 14-12 lead for the Manchester Mystics. They've been led by 6 points from Ravimbo Chinamasa. And 5 points from Chloe Andrew. And then leading the way for the Worcester Wolves, 8 points from Siani Montgomery. She's got 4 rebounds as well in just the first quarter. So last time these two teams met, it was in November in Worcester. Manchester coming out on top in that one with a 68-63 win. And Manchester, having lost 6 games since the National Cup final in January, they've had 5 away games. They've had quite a rough schedule, especially with those injuries, coming up against some really strong teams. So they'll certainly want to finish the season strong and put themselves in a really good position with playoff seeding on the line. And again, Worcester, a team that have had that injury trouble. They are on a 4-game winning streak, looking to make it 5 today. And they've had wins against the Brent Bulls, Ipswich, Bromsgrove Bears and Bristol Flyers. Playing against Brent last weekend, the Wolves with a 64-57 win, and Siani Montgomery with a massive 30-point game along with 11 steals, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Now, she is just a player that can do a bit of everything out there on the floor for the Wolves. She's just been absolutely exceptional all season long. Playing in her first season for Worcester. From Philadelphia, making the move over to the UK to play here, and leads the league in not only scoring but efficiency and steals per game. She's averaging 4.7 steals a game, and that is so hard to do. She's so effective out there for Worcester as teams get ready to come back out onto the floor for the second quarter. So Khalil inbounds to Williams. Williams needs some help. Khalil's there, needs to get it over the halfway line. And she will, but runs into Montgomery. And foul will go against the Wolves. And that's the first on Montgomery. So Mystics go again from the sideline. Williams into Khalil. Willis backing down inside, turns, can't get it to go. Montgomery picks up the rebound. That's her 5th so far. And ball will go out of bounds. Manchester get it back. Manchester playing without their leading scorer, Kizzy Spence. She was leading the team with just under 19 points a game this season. So for Manchester, it's a case of who steps up into that scoring role. We've seen success Odinwingie do it. We've seen Chloe Andrew do it as Anya Williams finds Khalil. Lord over to Williams. Williams going inside, and ball will go the way of Worcester. Carol Marquez back out onto court for the Wolves. And Tiona McKay takes a seat. McKay with a really impactful game so far for the Wolves. 5 rebounds for McKay. She's making it really difficult as well for the Mystics to get the looks that they want, as Oliver runs into traffic. Easton into Maxwell. And ball's loose on the floor, and it will be a travel called against Manchester, so that's a Wolves possession. Easton on the inbound, into Marquez. Marquez goes to the basket, can't get it to fall. Khalil over to Perdomo. Lord stops and can't get it to go, gets her own rebound though. Doesn't drop, but another offensive rebound for Lord. Manchester will get another chance. As Williams, 5 seconds, ball is bouncing about everywhere. 3 seconds, Lord has to put something up, and that won't go at the end of the clock. So it will be Wolves ball. Bukoye back into the game as Maxwell takes a seat. Bulls ball, a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession as Oliver swings it round to Montgomery. Out to the corner, Marquez's shot, too strong. Bulls chased down by Lord. As Perdomo up ahead, and that'll just be a step out of bounds. And Wolves will get the ball back. A couple of messy possessions there for the Mystics. Maybe it hasn't quite ended how they've wanted it to, but you can see the pressure that Worcester are putting on. So sometimes makes it a little bit difficult to settle down into the offense that you want. Marquez. Ball's knocked away, stays with Worcester. And that's Rahana Khalil just getting a hand in the passing lane, just making things difficult. Forces Worcester to reset. Nine seconds on the clock. Ball's into Montgomery. Montgomery, oh, what a move! Can't get the roll. As Mabam out to Perdomo. Perdomo, that's short. Montgomery with rebound number 6 along with 8 points. Bukoye inside and baskets waved. Shots waved off. And a travel call, so ball's back with Manchester and we'll see Marley Ball into the game. Steph Oliver heads to the bench. Jade Mabam for Manchester, setting things up. Willis. Lord. Out to Mabam. Mabam, not that time. As ball's loose, but picks up by Bukoye. Montgomery has it. It's a 2-point game. As Marquez doesn't get it to fall. And neither team have scored yet this quarter, so with 6:38 to play here, that's quite unusual for both teams to not get onto the scoreboard. As Chinamasa comes back into the game for Manchester. Perdomo. Willis. Willis goes to the basket, shot won't go. And both teams really struggling to score here in the second quarter. Bukoye puts a stop to that though, and will get Worcester onto the scoreboard and gets her first points of the game. We're tied at 14 all. Chinamasa to Mabam. Khalil. Khalil with space from the foul line. Doesn't drop. Bukoye, threes off the rim. Be Manchester possession. Substitution for Manchester's Remy Idowu and Success Odemwingie come back out onto the floor. Manchester will look to get it over the halfway line. Odemwingie. Odemwingie driving inside, met by Bukoye. A huge stance there from Mary Bukoye. Standing her ground as McKay gets it over to Marquez. And a tough shot from Marquez. Won't go. And Manchester down the other end. Chinamasa can't get it to fall. And ball stays with Manchester. Mabam into Perdomo. Perdomo with space. 3 doesn't go that time. And again, Manchester getting the looks. They're getting some good looks in the space that they want to, but shots just not dropping for them at the moment. Okoye against Idowu and gets the whistle. So first team foul goes against Manchester, and 2 shots to come here for the Wolves. And Okoye, as Chloe Andrew checks in and Jade Mabam heads to the bench. Okoye averaging 12.3 points a game this season for the Wolves. Playing in her first season for Worcester, was with Kohler in the WEABL previously. Also played for the Division 1 and under-18s teams in Kohler. As can't get the second to go. Ball picks up the offensive rebound though, so another chance for the Wolves. Ball's knocked away. Good hands there from Idowu, but Okoye at the other end takes it back for the Wolves. As ball will go out of bounds. It'll be Manchester possession. A miscommunication there from Worcester. And a timeout called. So with 4:36 to play here in the second quarter, it's 14 all. It's been a 2-0 run for the Wolves this quarter, so very low scoring for both teams. Manchester coming into this game averaging 62, just over 62 points a game. And for Worcester, they've been averaging 70.8. So low scoring for both teams, certainly by their standards. But it is what we expected. We expected a close game between these two teams. It was last time they met in November. There's not a lot separating them at the moment in the standings, both with 11 wins and 8 losses so far. As teams will come back out onto the floor. Got some support for Eri Okoye in the comments. It's great to see. She's a fantastic player out there on the floor. Really good to see her having such a good season for Worcester this year in her first season for the Wolves, as Chinamasa finds Idowu. And ball's knocked away. The Wolves have it a chance to go ahead here for Worcester. Montgomery against Odemwingie. This is a fun matchup to watch here. Odemwingie and Montgomery going against each other as McKay has to pass out. Marquez high arcing three, nets it from outside, and the Wolves take the lead. First lead of the game for Worcester. Andrew to Odemwingie. Chinamasa with space, sets herself up, can't answer as the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Wolves' possession. We'll see Alex Hernandez back out on the floor for Manchester. Montgomery. Out to Marquez. Marquez, oh, great move inside. And adds in 2 more for Worcester, and a timeout called as Worcester with a 7-0 run here in the second quarter. And Worcester have been led so far, 6 rebounds for Siani Montgomery to go along with her 8 points so far. Tiona McKay also adding in 6 rebounds for the Wolves. So Manchester being out-rebounded here, 27-19. Worcester have done a really good job of crashing the glass, and especially coming up with those offensive rebounds. 5 offensive rebounds for 2 second-chance points for the Wolves. Manchester with no second-chance points so far. And Worcester just edging the battle inside. 12 points in the paint to Manchester's 10. So teams coming back out onto the floor. And it will be Manchester ball. So Manchester looking to get on the scoreboard here this quarter. As Andrew gets the ball into Idowu. Over to Chinamasa. Chinamasa leading the team in assists per game this season as Andrew pulls up. Doesn't get it to full. Ball's loose. Picked up by Bukoye. Worcester going on a bit of a run these last couple of minutes as ball into Bukoye. Not sure how she maybe was able to catch that around 3 Mystics defenders, but she did. Chinamasa calling for the screen. Floats it up, can't get the roll, ball's tipped. And Manchester can't keep it inside the lines, it'll go with Worcester. And again, it's Manchester are getting those looks. The shot's just not been falling for them at the moment. So we've got just over 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Montgomery finds Marquez. Ball's knocked away. Andrew down the floor. Andrew spins, hangs in the air, doesn't get it to fall. Montgomery out to ball. 3 is short. Ball's tipped, but again, another chance on offense. Oh, what a pass out from Montgomery. McKay doesn't get it to drop, but another rebound for the Wolves, and Montgomery leaves it short, but gets her own rebounds. And that is such a tough finish from Montgomery. She's into double figures. Just persistent basketball from Siani Montgomery, and rewarded with 2 points for the Wolves. They've got their biggest lead of the game so far at 7. As Andrew can't get it to go, but a whistle on the shot, so 2 free throws to come. So Andrew looking to get Manchester onto the scoreboard, and she will. So Manchester pick up their first points of the quarter. And Andrew goes 2 of 2 from the line. It's a 5-point game. Montgomery. McKay. Hands off to Marquez. Bukoye. Bukoye driving inside. And 2 shots to come at the other end for the Wolves. So Eri Bukoye back to the free throw line for Worcester. She's got 2 points and 4 rebounds for the Wolves. Leads the team in rebounds per game this season with 8.9. That's 8th in Division 1 as she hits the first. She's had 6 games with 12 or more rebounds this season. She's a huge presence on the glass. As Hernandez can't keep the ball inside for Manchester. And the Wolves will get it back. Montgomery in control for Worcester. McKay. Ball. Back to McKay. McKay spinning, hanging in the air. Too strong. As Chinamasa has the ball for Manchester. Manchester looking to score from the field as Andrew nails it from outside. And that's a much needed shot from Manchester. As it's down to a 3-point game, but Ball alone under the basket, lays it in for 2 at the other end. And Manchester can hold for the last shot of the quarter here. Shot clock is off. It's a 5-point Wolves lead. Chinamasa to Khalil. Andrew, 8 seconds. Andrew looks to go back to back. Shot spins out. Montgomery with the rebound, 2 seconds, and Manchester will foul at the halfway line. So referees will just determine here if that was a foul on the floor or if there was a shot attempt. So Anya Easton will check in as Tiona McKay heads to the bench. So it will be possession, so foul was on the floor. It'll be sideline possession, and we've got 1.1 seconds put back on the clock. So for Worcester here, it needs to be a catch and shoot. It needs to be very, very quick. You don't have time for a dribble. As Marquez, catch and shoot, too strong. So at the end of the first half, it's a 24-19 lead for Worcester over the Manchester Mystics. Worcester having been led by Siani Montgomery, who has a double-double of 10 points and 10 rebounds. And then for Manchester, it's Chloe Andrew, 10 points for her, hitting 2 threes. So we're going to take a quick break for half-time, but we'll be back with you in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back into the Manchester Basketball Centre here in Whalley Range as we get ready for the second half between the Manchester Mystics and the Worcester Wolves. It's a 24-19 lead to the Wolves as we approach the third quarter. And it's been a relatively slow start to the game for both teams scoring-wise, as it was a 12-5 run for the Wolves in the second quarter. The Wolves putting up 12 points in each quarter. And Manchester taking some time to score there in the second, but obviously a half-time break, you can make those adjustments. Be interesting to see how Manchester come out now into the third quarter. But it's been close between both of the teams. Neither team have had a lead bigger than 7 so far in the game. And it's been the Worcester Wolves having been led by Siani Montgomery. 10 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double at half-time for her. She's had a fantastic game so far. Also picked up 2 steals. And for the Manchester Mystics, it's Chloe Andrew with 10 points, hitting 2 threes for the Mystics. So teams getting ready to come back out onto the floor, playing in their final game of the regular season before playoffs start. Manchester currently in 5th place, Worcester in 6th. So teams will want to finish the regular season strong. Both teams have had some injury troubles this year, but Worcester currently on a 4-game winning streak, looking to make it 5. So back out on the floor, Montgomery finds McKay. Bukoye. Ball. Back to Bukoye. Marquez under the basket, gets the foul. So Carol Marquez will go to the free throw line for the Wolves. Marquez played in her 6th season for Worcester. Played 5 seasons in Division 1. And then with the Wolves when they were in Division 2 in the 2023-24 season. Last year it was 5th in points per game in Division 1 as she gets the first free throw. And goes 2 of 2 from the line. So it's a 7-point lead for Worcester. Manchester looking to respond. Odemwingie to Perdomo. Chinamasa. Out to Andrew. Andrew off the rim, and McKay picks up her 7th rebound of the game. She has been such a problem on the glass for Manchester. McKay's been averaging 7 rebounds a game, up to that already here in the third quarter. She gets the ball round to Marquez. Marquez runs into Idowu and Odemwingie, and the ball at the other end will stay with Manchester as it goes out of bounds. But you see the hustle there from both Odemwingie and McKay, trying to chase the ball down. This ball's into Andrew. Andrew turns and fires and hits. And Chloe Andrew coming up big for Manchester when they need her to. She's up to 13 points. Leads down to 4. Marquez. Bukoye. Bukoye against Idowu. Bukoye goes inside, that's too strong. Rebound. Can't save it inside the lines from Perdomo. But a good effort there on the boards. So Chloe Andrew, 13 points for Manchester today. And of course, it was Chloe Andrew that came up huge in the National Cup final for the Mystics, hitting 2 free throws with 0.6 seconds on the clock to ice the game for Manchester. As it's Wolves' possession. And just got a stop on the end line here. Not sure what we were waiting for there, but it looks like Worcester will reset and will go again. So Marquez. Ball's into ball, catch and shoot. Doesn't go. Manchester a chance to make this a single possession game as Odemwingie out to Perdomo. Idowu to Andrew. Andrew using the screen from Idowu as the shot bounces off. And a foul on the rebound. So ball's going to stay with Manchester. Holding foul goes against the Wolves. And that'll be the first team foul. So both teams just on one team foul here. As ball's into Andrew. Andrew driving baseline. Odemwingie's there for the rebound, but Bukoye comes up with it. And Eri Bukoye has just been everywhere inside the paint, making it so difficult for Manchester. And she's the type of player that while she does score and does rebound, as she's showing us right now with the rebounding, she makes such an impact off the ball and away from the ball on defense. Her presence in the paint, really impactful. One of those players that does the work that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. As she'll find herself back at the free throw line. Had a huge 30-point, 17 rebound game against Bristol earlier this season. And then 20 points, 16 rebounds against Ipswich. So certainly a player that can go off when she needs to. And she'll get the second, takes her up to 4 points for Worcester. Leads back to 5 for the Wolves. Perdomo to Chinamasa. Chinamasa looks for a space, shots too strong, but Idowu will get Manchester another chance here as a jump ball is called. You can see Worcester, what they're doing is they're putting the pressure on the baseline. So when Manchester trying to drive the baseline, they're making it really difficult for them to get to the basket. So it's forcing them out of bounds and into difficult passes that they're trying to make. As possession arrows with Manchester. Andrew. Marquez was right out to her. 5 seconds on the clock. Andrew to Idowu. Idowu with a short jumper. Can't get the bounce, but he'll be tipped out of bounds. And Worcester will have it. So a 5-point Wolves lead. McKay. McKay, ball's loose. It's picked up by Chinamasa. Andrew has Odemwingie up ahead, and Odemwingie will lay it in for 2. And it's a single possession game. Manchester with 5 points so far this quarter, matching their total in the second. They've certainly come out of that halftime break a lot more energised. As Montgomery has Bukoye. Shots too strong, and ball saves it, but it's with Andrew and the Mystics. As Andrew goes all the way, that's short. Bukoye grabs the rebound. And Bukoye at the other end. Basket's waved off and an offensive foul is called against Worcester. So Manchester will have the ball back. And we've got a timeout called here by head coach Alexis Lewis for the Worcester Wolves. Wants to talk it over with his team. So it's been a 5-3 run for Manchester this quarter. 6:27 to play in the third. Coach Lewis in his second season as head coach with Worcester, also head coach of the Bucks team. Been coaching since 2007 and started his coaching journey at the Philadelphia 76ers summer camp. He's obviously got a lot of experience in the time that he's spent. Was the England under-15 girls assistant coach at Aspire. Sorry, just the England under-15 girls assistant coach. And there is a lot of opportunities at the moment for coaches. You know, there's the coaching program going on. Basketball England got a lot of information on the website, and obviously the Aspire and Home Nations tournaments that are coming up gives not just players but coaches an opportunity to develop their skills, work with players and in players and age groups that they might not normally. And you speak to coaches and the players as well, all saying, you know, what a beneficial situation, what a great learning experience the whole events are. So the team's coming back out onto the floor. We've just got a correction on the scoreboard, so it is 27-24 to the Wolves. Perdomo to Chinamasa. Odemwingie. Chinamasa, 6 seconds on the clock. Perdomo calling for it. McKay was right there, and Perdomo can't get it to fall. Good defense from the Wolves as well. You can see that they've identified who the shooters are out there for Manchester, and they're trying to make it difficult for especially Perdomo and Andrew. The threats from behind the three-point line. As McKay skies in from nowhere, gets the rebound and finishes on the putback. What a play there from Tiona McKay. Really leaping out of the gym. Chinamasa. Chinamasa doesn't drop, ball's knocked away. And Montgomery will take control here for the Wolves. Marquez. Marquez scoops it up and in. And two huge back-to-back buckets there for the Wolves. Just two improbable plays as McKay with that massive rebound, and then Marquez scooping up the layup. So it gives the Wolves a 7-point lead. So a timeout called here in the third quarter. So a 7-5 run for Worcester in the third quarter here. And again, it is low scoring for these teams. Manchester averaging just over 62 points a game, and Worcester over 70. So team's getting ready to come back out onto the floor. It's a 7-point Wolves lead. We've got 5:08 to play here in the third. And we saw at halftime the Wolves were just edging that battle in the paint. But they've really taken control here in the third quarter. 22 points in the paint to Manchester's 12. As teams out onto the floor. It'll be Manchester ball. Andrew will inbound. Ball's into Idowu. And Manchester will need to get it over the halfway line here, as Andrew will do. Chinamasa. Over to Mabam. Mabam. Three doesn't fall. And it's Montgomery against Hernandez. Montgomery spins, turns, puts it up and in. And Siani Montgomery continues to score. She's up to 12 points alongside 11 rebounds. Biggest lead of the game so far for the Wolves at 9. Hernandez. Three won't go. And Worcester get the ball back. And Manchester whistled for the foul. They'll pick up their third this quarter. So we sideline possession for the Wolves. Marquez balls into Montgomery. Back to Marquez. Marquez going inside. Shot bounces out. Chinamasa leading the way. Mabam to Hernandez. Over to Andrew. Mabam. Idowu. Hernandez. Driving to the basket. And that'll be the third team foul against the Wolves. So 2 free throws to come. And a substitution for Manchester as Letitia Willis and Faith Lord come in. And Remy Idowu and Ravimbo Chinamasa will head to the bench. So Hernandez shooting 2 at the foul line for Manchester. Hernandez with 3 rebounds so far today. As she doesn't get the first. Hernandez, the back-to-back WEABL North Defensive Players of the Year in the 2024 and 25 seasons, as she gets the second. Leads down to 8 for Worcester. Montgomery, not that time. Hernandez with another rebound. Manchester looking to chip into this lead. Mabam. Andrew to Mabam. Hernandez. Lord, 3, won't go. And the Wolves back on the attack. Okoye to Marquez. Marquez drives baseline, and that'll be a carry called. So Manchester will have the ball back. And a substitution for the Wolves as Steph Oliver back out into the game. And Marley Ball heads to the bench. Ball with 4 points and 5 rebounds today. So an 8-point deficit for Manchester. Mabam to Lord. Andrew swings it to the corner. Hernandez gets it to go. And it's down to a 5-point game as the ball goes out of bounds and Manchester will get it back. And Manchester have been able to get some stops, but not always been able to capitalise on it. So if they can get something going here, that's certainly going to give them a boost as we head towards the end of the third. Hernandez looking for some help. Willis is there. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez runs into traffic. And a foul call, so Alex Hernandez will go back to the foul line, and she has been that spark as she's come off the bench in the last 90 seconds or so for Manchester. Coming up big on both ends of the floor. As she goes back to the free throw line, and Anya Easton will come in for the Wolves, and Siani Montgomery goes to the bench. Montgomery a 12-point, 12-rebound double-double here today. As Hernandez shooting a 62.5% from the stripe so far this season, gets the first. And Hernandez with a chance to cut this back to a single possession game. And it's short, but Lord with a big offensive rebound. And that's why we call her big board Faith Lord. Such a problem on the offensive glass as the ball's bouncing about. Willis, it's intercepted by Easton. And the Wolves back down the floor. Marquez. Bukoye. Hands off to Easton. McKay over to Marquez, 6 seconds on the clock. Marquez driving inside, doesn't go, and ball's loose on the floor. It's Hernandez that's picked it up. And Andrew over to Mabam. Hernandez driving, going all the way to the hoop. That's short. But Alex Hernandez is putting in a shift out there on the floor. Bukoye lines up a three, too strong. And it's back with Andrew. Hernandez looks for another, doesn't go that time, but Lord with the rebound. Can't finish on the putback, gets another chance though. And it'll go out of bounds. As Anya Williams and Rahana Khalil sub in for Chloe Andrew and Alex Hernandez. What a performance there from Alex Hernandez in the third quarter. She's just done everything she can for the Mystics. Oliver. McKay. McKay stops, pulls up, gets it to drop. McKay takes herself up to 6 points, extends the lead for the Wolves. Mabam to Khalil. Khalil has space, three's up and down! It's a single possession game. 35-32, Worcester leading. Marquez to Bukoye. Back to Marquez. 7 seconds on the shot clock and Marquez gets the foul. Basket's good and a chance at the foul line here for Marquez. What a tough move from Carol Marquez. Just the answer that the Wolves needed. So 37-32 to Worcester. Marquez will shoot an extra one here at the foul line. Marquez had a 24-point game against the London All-Stars earlier this season. So referees here, they're just confirming. Looks like they're just confirming whether it will be one shot or two shots. It looked like basket was called as good, in which case it would be one. So it is one shot to come, so basket counts. And we've got 7.7 seconds left in the quarter. So Marquez doesn't get the free throw and ball goes out of bounds. Takes about a second off the clock. And it will be last touch Manchester, so the Wolves will have the ball for the last possession of the quarter. 5.6 seconds on the clock. So time here to get something off. So shot clock will be off. 5.6 on the scoreboard. Steph Oliver will inbound for the Wolves. And ball's in. Marquez calling for it outside the three-point line. What a shot from Carol Marquez with time running down. A run from her, a 6-point run from Marquez makes it an 8-point game at the end of the third quarter. As the Wolves go up 40-32, Manchester had clawed their way back into it, brought it back to just a single possession, but the Wolves able to answer. And Carol Marquez, the and one play, and then a three to end the quarter. And great timing from the Wolves, able to use the clock. They got exactly the look that they wanted, and Marquez finishing the play. So they will take an 8-point lead into the fourth quarter. And an 18-13 run for the Wolves in the third, their highest scoring quarter of the game so far for the Wolves at 18. So Carol Marquez on 14 points along with 2 rebounds. And Siani Montgomery with that double-double of 12 points and 12 rebounds. Eri Bukoye with 11 rebounds and 4 points. And Tiona McKay adding in 8 rebounds along with 6 points. It's been all Worcester on the boards today. 37 rebounds to, well, sorry I say that, but 33 for Manchester. It's felt like Worcester have been so much more dominant, but looking at that, you can see there's not that much difference. And Faith Lord for Manchester coming off the bench with a big 6 rebounds, 4 of them offensive. And Remi Idowu grabbing 5 rebounds for Manchester. They've been led in scoring by Chloe Andrew with 13 points. And then Ravimbo Chinamasa with 6 points. Alex Hernandez also with 6 points and 5 rebounds off the bench for Manchester. So 1 more quarter to come. And apologies, it was a 16-13 run for the Wolves in the third quarter, not an 18-13 run, but still 16 points, the most that the Wolves have put up in the game. So that's what teams always look to do. You want to improve on your last quarter, and the Wolves certainly did that there in the third. So back underway for the fourth quarter. Montgomery to Ball. Ball, 3 is good from outside. And Marley Ball with a big shot there for the Wolves, as they have a double-figure lead for the first time. Khalil looking for some help. Willis is fouled. So the Wolves pick up their first foul this quarter. As Andrew looks to get the ball in. Willis back to Khalil. Khalil, 3 goes in, and Rahana Khalil making a much needed shot for Manchester. It's an 8-point game. Montgomery. Easton. McKay, time running down, 4 seconds, it's stolen away by Khalil. Odemwingie is going to wait for the team to catch up. Willis to Lord. Khalil. Odemwingie over to Andrew. 8 seconds on the clock. Andrew trying to create some space. Andrew swings it to Odemwingie, time running down, and Odemwingie at the buzzer! And back-to-back threes for Manchester take it back to a 5-point game. Montgomery swings it back outside. Shot short but tipped back to Easton. Easton, and basket's good, and the foul. So Anya Easton with a chance at the free throw line. Tiona McKay heads to the bench, and Carol Marquez comes back out for Worcester. So Anya Easton playing her first season for the Wolves with the Sheffield College in WEABL last season, hits the free throw and puts the lead back up to 8 for Worcester. Manchester keep chipping away and getting close, and then Worcester just able to pull away. Khalil. Willis. Odemwingie driving baseline. What a pass over to Lord. And a great decision there from Odemwingie. Lord ready and waiting underneath the basket. As Ball's 3! Splashes in from outside. And again, the lead's back up to 9 for the Wolves. Every time Manchester's try and cut into it, they're not able to break that seal, but Chloe Andrew lays in 2 more. 7-point game. 7:20 to play in the 4th quarter. Ball's loose and knocked into the hands of Lord. Odin Wingy racing down the court. Again, he's going to have to back the ball out. Khalil. Odin Wingy. Lord. Lord driving baseline all the way. Oh, leaves it short. Gets her own rebound, though. And will be called for the travel. So substitutions for both teams, and we'll see Eri Bukoye back out from the Wolves. And Tiona McKay also out onto the floor. And for Manchester, Alex Hernandez back into the game. So Wolves ball. It's a 7-point Worcester lead. McKay. McKay to Bukoye. Bukoye stops, spins, can't get it to go. Idowu with the rebound. Odin Wingy to Andrew. Andrew sets it up, won't fall. And Montgomery has it. Bukoye. And it will be a step out of bounds. So Manchester possession. A 10-9 run this quarter for the Mystics. They're still looking to try and break this down as they're down 7. Khalil, and good hands there from Worcester as the ball's knocked away. Marquez to Bukoye. And ball will go out of bounds. Back with Manchester, and a timeout called by Worcester. So teams will talk it over here in the 4th quarter. It's a 7-point game, 49-42. The Wolves leading over Manchester here in the 4th quarter. And the energy from both teams really seems like it's stepped up here in the 4th quarter. It was quite a slow start to the game for both teams, as I said, by their standards, especially scoring-wise. But really, the last few minutes have just been a shootout here on the floor. Manchester hitting 7 threes today, Worcester with 4, but Worcester seen more success from inside. 30 points in the paint to 16 points in the paint for Manchester. That's made a really big difference there. And then 16 points from turnovers for Manchester, so they've been able to capitalise on the turnovers from Worcester, but Worcester just shooting more efficiently from inside when they are getting there, shooting 36% compared to Manchester's 24%. So just under 6 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. 49-42, Worcester leading Manchester. Both teams' final game of the regular season. As Khalil passes over to Hernandez. Idowu to Andrew. Andrew steps back, threes up, can't get the bounce. And that's the shot that Manchester are going to look for. Get the screen, get Chloe Andrew some space. And she's going to take that 3. Montgomery to Bukoye, not that time. And Wolves will be called for the foul. That's the 2nd team foul. Manchester on 1 team foul this quarter, so it'll be sideline ball from the Mystics. So Odemwingie into Andrew. Khalil. Idowu. Hernandez, oh! Gets the whistle on the shot. So Hernandez will go to the free throw line. 2 shots to come. And again, that's something Alex Hernandez has done really well today. She's been able to draw those fouls when she's gone to the basket. She's drawn 4 fouls today, shooting 3 of 6 from the foul line. 6 points and 5 rebounds for Hernandez. Also a +2 in a game that Manchester are down by 7. So that's the impact that Alex Hernandez has when she's on the court. Now the first free throw is good. And 2 of 2 from the line for Hernandez. Leads cut down to 5 for Worcester. Montgomery passes over to Bukoye, who lays it in for 2. Back to a 7-point game. Khalil turns, fires, not that time. Hernandez with the rebound, so another chance for Manchester. Andrew, 8 seconds on the clock. Khalil calling for it, lines it up, that's short. Marquez driving inside, kicks the ball out, it's picked up, and Odemwingie comes away with the steal. Khalil. Andrew, Idowu has space, 3 off the back iron, but Khalil with the rebound. And Manchester will get another chance on offense. Hernandez doesn't fall, and ball's tipped into the hands of McKay. Manchester just not been able to get those shots to fall. They've had some good looks there, just a few possessions, as Montgomery draws the foul. So second team foul on Manchester this quarter. And Georgia Perdomo comes into the game. Alex Hernandez heads to the bench. Hernandez, 8 points and 6 rebounds for Manchester. And again, just doing all that work that you don't see reflected on the stat sheet. So Manchester looking to cut into this 7-point deficit, but it's free throws for Montgomery. She's got a chance to extend this Wolves lead. As first is good. Montgomery over the first 8 games of the season averaged 29.2 points. That's absolutely outrageous. She's had 6 30 or more point games as she goes 2 of 2 from the line, and she's up to 14 and leads back up to 9 for Worcester. Andrew over to Odemwingie, and pass is too strong, out of bounds. Worcester will get it back. We'll see Chinamasa check in for Khalil. And Rahana Khalil, 6 points and 3 rebounds as she goes to the bench. Manchester trying to get some stops, get some quick points, but Worcester can use the clock here. And an offensive foul call goes against the Wolves, so Manchester, again, another chance. There's a lot of time left in this game, just over 3 minutes, and that'll be the 5th foul on Bukoye, so she'll have to take a seat. Bukoye with a huge game for the Wolves, 6 points and 13 rebounds in her time on the floor. Andrew. Ball's knocked away. Manchester have it. Perdomo, 3 off the rim. Chased down by Andrew. Saves it, but it's into the hands of the Wolves. Marquez to Montgomery. Montgomery out to Marquez. Great fake, drives and puts in the long 2. And Marquez now up to 16 points. It's an 11-point lead for Worcester. Andrew. Perdomo. Perdomo round to Chinamasa. Perdomo, you can see, trying to get the shot there. But Worcester are just straight to the shooters for Manchester, as Montgomery grabs another rebound. McKay driving baseline and foul against Manchester, so 2 free throws to come here for McKay. And a chance to put this potentially out of reach here for Manchester with just under 2 minutes to play. McKay with 10 rebounds today, along with 6 points. Had a 14 rebound game against the Loughborough Riders earlier this season. Previously playing for the Reading Rockets in Division 1. Playing her first season for Worcester as she gets the second, and it's a 12-point lead. Chinamasa driving to the basket, and fouls called on the floor, so that'll be the 5th on Worcester, so that puts Manchester at the foul line. Worcester in the bonus now for the last minute and a half. So Chinamasa with 2 free throws. Chinamasa playing in the WNBL this season for the Mystics. She's 4th in assists per game in the league. She's been dishing out 5 over the course of the season as she gets the first. And second one spins out. Ball will go the way of Worcester. So Manchester will pick up full court here. As Marquez gets the ball in, Andrew steal and puts the ball in the basket. As ball's out of bounds, and again the Wolves will take it. And Manchester again, they'll pressure the inbound. As ball's into Montgomery. Again, Montgomery's such a quick player as she goes up against Odemwingie. Spins and gets the whistle. Fouls on the floor, so Manchester had a foul to give. That'll put them onto their 4th. As the Wolves take it from the sideline. Montgomery. 8 seconds on the clock. And ball's out of bounds. Manchester will get it back. Odemwingie into Chinamasa. Manchester will need to go quickly. They'll have to get some quick points onto the board. And Odemwingie loses control as the Wolves will get it back with a minute to go. And shot short. Ball's tipped by Chinamasa, but again, Marquez is there. Right place, right time for Marquez. Such an experienced player out on the floor as ball has the ball knocked away. Odemwingie. Long pass to Perdomo, and Perdomo will take it to the basket and lays it in for two. And a foul against Manchester. So that puts Worcester at the free throw line. That was on, looks like Ball took a bit of a tough fall, but she looks like she's okay. So it'll be Marley Ball shooting two for the Wolves. Ball with the Bristol Flyers last season, where she was named the Flyers MVP. Spent some time playing 3x3 in the summer, representing Great Britain, and was part of the team that qualified for Europe Cup in the 3x3 game, as she gets the first. And gets the bounce on the second. So a timeout called, and it is a 58-49 lead for the Worcester Wolves over the Manchester Mystics. 25.8 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. And the Wolves have been led in scoring by Carol Marquez. 16 points for her, along with 3 rebounds. Siani Montgomery, 14 points, 14 rebounds and 6 assists, along with 4 steals. Her impact is just enormous for the Wolves. She's had such an incredible season for them. And Eri Bukoye adding in 13 rebounds along with her 6 points. And for Manchester, Chloe Andrew, 17 points and 3 assists. Ravimbo Chinamasa with 7 points and 3 rebounds. And then Alex Hernandez off the bench with those 8 points and 6 rebounds. So 25.8 seconds to go. And Worcester with a 58-49 lead. So they will move themselves to 12 wins and 8 losses. They'll overtake Manchester in the standings. And then teams will have an eye on the rest of the games to see how the final playoff picture ends up. Top 8 teams in the playoffs, and the top 4 will have home court advantage. So 25.8 seconds, and it's Manchester possession. Ball's into Idowu, back to Chinamasa. Andrew trying to make some space. Marquez doing a great job defensively. As Easton has the ball, and foul is called. So 2 free throws to come here, and Anya Easton will go back to the foul line for Worcester. And that'll be foul number 5 on Success Odemwingie, so she'll go to the bench. Odemwingie, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists and 2 steals today. As Easton will have 2 free throws. Gets the first. Easton had a 7 assist game against Bromsgrove this season. Takes herself up to 4 points today. And make it 5. An 11-point lead for Worcester. And a timeout called, so head coach Rob Fairley will draw something up here for the Mystics. 15.7 seconds left on the clock. Got a slight difference on the scoreboard, but 15.7 seconds. And that will give Manchester a chance to run a play, take the last shot of the game. And it's always a really good opportunity for players and coaches to be able to do that in a real-life game situation. So, yes, Worcester have the lead. They have Manchester will very unlikely be able to come back from 11 points down with just under 16 seconds to go. But it gives players and coaches a chance to run a play, draw something up and try it in this real-life situation where you can do it in practice, but it's not always the same. You can't replicate the atmosphere, and you can't replicate going against a team that you aren't as familiar with like you would be in practice. So that's often the case, is why you'll see coaches draw something up when the game might look like it's already over. And you've got one possession left. So let's see what Rob Fairley has drawn up coming out of this timeout for Manchester. So Chinamasa will inbound. Perdomo. And ball's knocked away. The Wolves come up with it. And an unsportsmanlike foul will be called against Manchester. No play on the ball. So that will send the Wolves back to the free throw line. Takes a bit of time off the clock. We've got 11.2 seconds. So that will give 2 free throws and possession to the Wolves. And it will be Carol Marquez at the free throw line. Marquez hits the first. Marquez with 17 points today for Worcester. Up to 18 now. So it will be possession for the Wolves. 11.2 seconds on the clock. Marquez into McKay, back to Marquez. 6 seconds, and Marquez will dribble it out here for the Wolves. So the Wolves pick up their 12th win of the season, a hard-fought victory against the Manchester Mystics. Extends their regular season winning streak to 5 in the last game of the season, and that'll position themselves well in the standings for the playoffs, so they will move above Manchester. We'll have to wait for the result of some other games before the final standings are set, but Worcester going to be very pleased with that performance against a tough Manchester team as they take the win 62-49, and they were led in scoring by Carol Marquez, 18 points for her, along with 3 rebounds. Siani Montgomery, 14 points and 14 rebounds, a huge double-double. And Eri Bukoye, 13 rebounds along with 6 points. But we've got to shout out Tiona McKay, 10 rebounds, 7 points, but just hustled all over the floor, just really made an impact for Worcester. And for Manchester, Chloe Andrew leading the way with 17 points and 3 assists. Alex Hernandez off the bench with 8 points and 6 rebounds. And then Ravimbo Chinamasa, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals. Faith Lord with a 7 rebound game, 5 big rebounds on offense for Faith Lord. The second half of this season, she has been such a tough player. You've seen her develop over the course of the season, and that's what's been great to see about a lot of the younger players on the Manchester team. So the final score, 62-49 for the Wolves. That will be Manchester's last home game of the season. They will not be able to finish in the top 4 for home court advantage in the playoffs, so they'll wait to see who they face next. But for everybody who's joined us on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel this season, a big thank you to everybody who's watched. A big thank you to Isha Nair, Eve Shadrick and Hannah Shaw, who've been joining me on commentary for some of the games throughout this season. And it's been a bit of an up and down season here for Manchester. So they had that incredible run, a massive win in the National Cup in January. They've had injury trouble, some short rosters since then, so not been able to pick up a win since the Cup. And obviously looking to try and finish strong today in the regular season, but they'll certainly go again in the playoffs, whoever they'll be facing. And it's been a great season to see, especially the National Cup win for the team. What a win for them that was in January. If you've not seen it, it's on the Basketball England YouTube channel. I like to go back and watch that every so often. So that will do it from here in Manchester, and we'll see you next season.